China has now confirmed that Xi Jinping, in fact, will not be attending the summit here in the national capital in India. In fact, the Chinese premier will be attending the summit in his place. Confirmation now coming to the fore from the Chinese side. Remember, Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, had already confirmed that he was not going to come, and it was his foreign minister. Now, the Chinese president also confirming that he is not going to be here in India. Abhishek, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more details. Abhishek, for the last few days, there was speculation that Xi Jinping was going to give this a miss. Several reasons were cited, given the domestic crisis that China faces as well. We now have confirmation coming in from the Chinese side.
Of course, and this was just waited because almost the speculation was right that Xi Jinping is not going to come to India. Several media outlets have also reported that. We have also reported that, and it's been almost like 2-3 days since the rumor was right. But now we know that for sure Xi Jinping is not going to come to the G20 summit level talks. He just had a visit in Johannesburg for the BRICS summit level talks, where he had meeting with so many member countries. And of course, Prime Minister Modi and Xi Jinping also had a candid and in-depth conversation as per the Chinese ministry's statement. But Xi Jinping not coming to India will have multiple, ramifications. We have been talking about the divide between West and Russia, China. Will that emerge as a detrimental to this grouping's overall mandate, its priority, its challenges, and will the differences take the center stage rather than the priority and the common concerns of the world countries? That remains to be seen. Also, how China is going to support India for the upcoming common and joint declaration. That is also one of the issues that we'll have to keep in mind. And also, Xi Jinping not coming to India, we'll still have to decipher it in a multiple ways. Whether it was India-China bilateral relationship that was in the mind of Chinese side to take before taking a decision, or it was about this G7 bloc trying to dominate the G20 agenda and making it all about Ukraine's crisis and the aftermath of Ukraine war in the global economy, global strategic dimensions. So there could be multiple ways to understand why Xi Jinping is not coming to Delhi. But yes, after Vladimir Putin, this is going to be the second major world leader who is not going to come for this 2023 summit level talks.
Right, now many believe that this is just a coincidence that both the leaders are skipping the G20 summit, even though we do know that there is growing bonhomie between Russia and China. The kind of axis that we see there, along with Pakistan, is something that is often spoken of. But in this context of the G20 summit, Abhishek, many believe that it's quite coincidental that both Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping are going to be missing.
We have seen Western countries alleging China of colluding with Russia, supplying them with armory, weapons, parts, and every essential commodities that the Russians needed to continue their ongoing war with Ukraine. Also, China has emerged as the largest importer of crude from Russia in the wake of recent cappings or restrictions of Russian oil into the international market. India and China both, in fact, have become the largest importers of Russian crude. So there is a clear bonhomie between the two sides. And after the allegations of the West on the Chinese side and China's not so good relations already with the US and Europeans, this was being expected that the G20 agenda could be very well, stretched between the two sides. One led by, of course, G7 grouping, and other was Russia, China. We have seen Maria Zakharova, Russian spokesperson for Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, clearly saying that they would rely on BRICS member countries to ensure that the divide or the dominance of G7 countries within the G20 group will be countered by the BRICS member countries. So while the two major leaders are not coming to India, we'll still have to see whether the G20 will become G7 versus BRICS, or it will try to find some new grounds for the consensus.
Right, Abhishek, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that. The countdown has begun. It is this weekend when foreign dignitaries are going to converge here in the national capital in India for the all-crucial G20 summit. With that, it's a wrap from my side.